Well, welcome back, everybody, to Soul Meets Strategy. We're very glad to see you this morning. My name is Denise Frenette, spiritual synergist, transformational life coach. I'm here with my wonderful partner in crime, Diana Lidstone, business strategist who is known for her work less, profit more approach to coaching, to businesses, and all of that. I'm really excited today. There's two reasons I am really excited about today. And one of the reasons is 3 p.m. today. Diana and I are giving a free masterclass. This is for business owners, entrepreneurs, CEOs, anybody who has to deal with their teams of individuals, okay? And it's going to be an incredible masterclass. We're going to talk about this a little bit later on today, during our podcast. And the other reason why I am so excited about today is we're going to talk about loneliness. And I find this to be an important topic, loneliness for entrepreneurs and business owners all around, okay, for CEOs. And I will be talking about a little story, literally, that just happened this morning. So welcome. And good morning, Diana.
Hey, yeah, I am excited. Today is a busy day for you and I. Um, our masterclass, 3 p.m. I've put the link in the comments for people to register. I will put it. There we are. Look at
Excellent.
that. There,
Perfect.
we got it registered. And yeah, loneliness. The fact of the matter is, I mean, this has been my experience as an entrepreneur for more than 40 years. You've been an entrepreneur for how many years? I forget.
Gosh, you know what? My son is 31. Gosh, anyway, 30,
Yeah.
31.
Yeah.
So more than that.
So there's 70 years experience
Yeah.
between us.
Yeah.
And what I have learned is, you know what? As entrepreneurs, it's lonely because guess what? Our family doesn't understand entrepreneur. Most of them don't understand what it is to be a small business owner.
Mhm.
Our family, most of our friends don't understand what it is to be a business owner. And
Mhm.
so who do we share our frustrations with, our joys with? Sometimes we don't have anybody. And I know that you have a story that you're going to share.
Yeah.
Uh, but I know that for a lot of my clients, I'm their sounding board,
Yes.
right? Because they're freaking lonely. There's nobody to share it with, nobody who understands it.
It's a huge problem, I
Mhm.
find. And in the last 5 years, with what we've been faced with, the pandemic and everything, man, and it's been tough for a lot of them,
For
a
sure.
lot of us. And so this loneliness thing is something that needs to be looked at and understood that there are ways of connecting and to others. So just this morning, I've got a brand new client. Okay, we're on our second session. That's it. And she sends me a message, and just to let me know that she sent in her homework. Okay, but in the same breath, she goes, "Oh man, what a day!" And I'm telling you, I got this morning at what 9 a.m. And she's already, what a day. And she starts going on and on about everything that she is challenged with, and she wants to make it for the 3 p.m. masterclass. Employee called in sick. Another one can't show up this week, like the whole week. So now she's scrambling. Oh my gosh, she doesn't know what to do. And she literally said in her message, Denise, I want to throw it all away. And I want to, yes,
Oh my God.
I know. And I'm like, oh no, I hear you. I get it. And I'm like, oh, I wish you could make it to the master class. This is what we're talking about. And I get it though. she's like juggling a whole bunch of balls. But what really got to me was what I heard past the words,
Mm.
the loneliness. And it worries me. And it worries me in the sense, like, I get it, been there. And I remember not wanting to reach out to anybody because I thought it was me. I
Yeah,
thought, what is my freaking problem? Why can't I handle this? I know I'm smart. I know.
exactly. I got here. I got this far in my business. Like, why? Right?
Yeah, exactly. And for a long time, I didn't reach out. And then I remember having a conversation with one individual, another woman with a business, and she sent me a message out of the blue, and this is years ago. And she literally goes, "Oh, for fuck's sakes, Denise, I can't stand people." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." So I reply to her because I'm having a really rough time too. I'm go, "What do you mean?" And then she starts blah 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 blah. And my freaking employees are blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, "Yeah, me too." Blah, 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 blah. And I remember feeling amazing, and it actually gave me more energy to think of, how am I going to solve my problems? How am I, just that little connection. And
Yeah.
from that, I actually started reaching out to other people. And what a difference.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's because we can't, like I said, our friends and family very often don't understand.
Yeah.
Um, you know, other it's rare that some other business owner is going to reach out to you and go, "Hey, do you want to listen to my problems?" Right?
Well,
Yeah.
you
So,
know, yeah. So anyone who listens to this, even by the way, even if it's in the replay.
mm,
So for those who couldn't make it this morning, okay, for those business owners, oh my gosh, that are like, it's Thursday, the week's almost done, and they're juggling a whole bunch of stuff.
yeah,
And let's say you only hear this tonight, you could still comment, okay, because this is going to be saved on our LinkedIn and on our Facebook. Um, you could still comment, and I want to hear, do you know what we're talking about? And I know you do.
yes,
I know you do. So if
yeah,
you even want to share, oh my gosh, yeah, last week, blah, 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 you go right ahead. We'd love to hear it. Okay.
exactly. So, have you ever felt lonely as a small business owner? I can't type, but there it
Yeah,
is. There's the question. We want to hear from you down below. Because
absolutely.
if this is a topic that you would like to discuss, or feel strongly about, I guess, we can have a forum. We can
Yeah.
find some resources for you. Because I have heard how this loneliness can lead to, you know, I'm, how could I say, anxiety. It leads to
Yeah.
stress. It leads to all the things that go on up here, which is our mental health, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And all of that energy spent on that
I have
is
to close
not,
my window. Can you hear that noise?
no,
Oh, good. Okay.
I can't,
Sorry.
well, mind
It's
you,
right.
I do have a hearing impairment, just so you know. Seriously. So I don't hear the noise. I'm good.
Okay. Okay.
But what I was saying is, the energy spent, okay, that energy, that
Mm,
loneliness consumes, that brings on, is energy that is not utilized for creativity,
yeah.
for enjoying what it is that you've created, okay, the business, for finding solutions. And so energy is energy. And if you're feeling lonely and detached and just struggling in that sense, and you don't have anyone to connect with, it's it's challenging.
Yeah. It's draining,
It
which is
really
going to
is.
be what the topic of our masterclass today.
I know. And so,
Right?
yes, absolutely. So even if you're hearing this at 2 in the afternoon,
Yeah.
just send either myself or Diana a quick message saying, you know what, I quit. I'm going to be there. Send me the link, please. Okay.
Yeah.
By all means, just do it. Okay. And we'll reply as fast as we could, and we'll send you the Zoom link, and you can join us. Okay. For this conversation that needs to be had. Okay. And another thing that I found really helpful with this loneliness thing. So I'm going to talk about boundaries, because that's a big one. And we talk about that today too, later at 3.
Yeah.
And so choosing who you share with. When you feel lonely, going to your team with this frustration might not be the best thing to do.
I love
And
it. Thank
so,
you for saying that.
and because I see a lot of individuals do that. My clients, when they say, "Oh God, Denise, today, blah, 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 blah," and I'm like, ouch, we cannot have this happen again. Because as the person who takes care of it all, okay, technically speaking, okay, they look for you for guidance. Okay, they look for you to find the solutions, and as a team leader,
There's
this
the
is
word.
what
There's the word leader, right?
exactly. This is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So the importance of me saying this, yeah, but Denise, who the freak am I supposed to talk to? Good question. There are a lot of groups out there. I'm going to mention Catherine Laundry. She's
Yeah.
got a group, okay, for women in business and all of that, where we all gather and we share, and all of them, we support each other. We actually had her on our first podcast guest, and
Yeah.
she's incredible what she does for entrepreneurs here in Ottawa.
Yeah.
And so there are a lot of different platforms to connect to just go on and say, hey guys, I want your advice. You could do that. And it's important that I think you do. And another way is maybe get a coach, okay? Get someone who's been there, done that. If you need that additional support, and not just support, but actual solutions, actual steps. Okay, how do I deal with this? Because I know one of the areas that I deal with is, how do you deal with your personal life, not just business, personal life, the soul part? How do you connect to your husband or your wife or your partner, whoever? How do you connect with your kids when you are fed up, tired, feeling burnt out, lonely,
Yeah.
because they don't get it,
Yeah.
or they only get part of it?
And, I think one of the things that you talk about is that what's going on in your business is typically a reflection of what's going on in your life, and they are very
Yeah,
interconnected,
it
right?
bleeds within
Yeah.
100%,
They
and
are
vice
not
versa.
separate. Yeah, they are not separate. Yeah.
And vice versa. What goes on in your personal life, if you, and again, you could reach out, even if the issue is not that much the business, but you're exhausted or lonely because of your personal life, that automatically, because you're a human being,
Yeah,
okay, automatically transmits to business.
for sure.
Automatically,
Yeah.
whether you know it or not, and whether you want to admit it or not. Okay,
Yes.
so the team feels it.
Yes.
And so when you're feeling lonely, the team, whether you think you're showing it or not, feels it.
Yeah,
It
because there's
affects
that energy. It's just like, you have a bad night's sleep, and you get up in the morning. Well, I'll speak for myself. I get up in the morning and I'm grumpy, you know? And
you.
does my husband feel it? Of course. If I had a team, would they feel it? Of course.
Yeah,
Right? Because
absolutely.
yeah, it's not separate. If you're going through, something personal at home, you can be sure that it is showing up at work
Yeah,
or in your
100.
business. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's was it in our last podcast? Oh no, it's sorry. I was gonna no, it's not in the last pod. It's something I'll be talking about during our
This
master class.
afternoon.
Yeah. So again, it's an actual case with a client of mine. Okay,
Yeah.
a while ago, and we saw, we realized, okay, the direct link of what was literally going on with his team,
Yep.
okay, there was a direct reflection of exactly the same thing going on in his personal life with his wife, anyway, and
Yeah.
his daughter.
Yeah.
And it was unbelievable. So we worked on one, and right away, it totally opened up a whole new perspective, a whole new way of viewing his team.
Of course.
And the productivity changed, the
Yep.
way they viewed him,
Yep.
the way, the ability for him to find solutions, and so on and so forth. So the way you are feeling personally, um, is a reflection of certain things. And it needs to really take for you to take the time and to really look at that. And that loneliness is felt by every single one who's ever been in business, okay, who's ever had a team, that they are responsible to leading, okay. And it's not something that you should shy away of having a really good conversations with some that can relate.
Yeah, with somebody that can relate, and that's, so true. I remember a time in my business where, my daughter, I've told this story many times. My daughter was ill, bedridden for 7 years. We thought, the world was coming to an end. I mean, that's really how you feel. And you go to work, and I remember on my way
Yeah.
to work, it was a 10-minute drive, and I would spend that 10 minutes crying because I didn't know what the I was going to do.
Yeah.
What was life going to be like? And then, you walk, I had literally would walk in the door of the business and I would try to put this, mask on. But, clients and team members, they could feel it. And,
Yeah.
uh, my employees at the time would sometimes, God thank them for their patience with me, would ask me what was going on. And when somebody opens the door like that, what happens? Bleh, right? But I had to get it out because if I didn't get it out, it would just keep
Yeah.
draining everything. And, we're talking today at 3 p.m. in our master class
Yeah.
about some of the reasons why, as
Mhm.
small business owners, we feel drained and how to shift so that you can reignite. Yeah.
One of the things that really, because we all have lives, right? And about like
Yep.
5 years ago, I mean, gosh, we lost my sister-in-law, my mother-in-law within 3 months. Then my husband had a massive heart attack. Yeah, and here I was building our second clinic. We had staff, we had all of that. Then my father passed away, and I am telling you, I was challenged. Okay, and in the midst of it all,
You're so polite.
I was, oh yeah, I was challenged. So one of the things that made me survive, okay,
Yeah.
uh, and I connected even more to my guides. I did I prayed, and I call it praying, and I do use the word God, but and it you could use whatever word anybody wants.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's fine. This universal connection, this universal energy, your spirit guides, whatever it is, praying to God. And I literally started connecting every day, multiple times a day. And I wasn't doing that before. And I know for a fact that it changed my life.
Mm.
Having that connection, having that, the faith, okay? And the more I connected, the more I found strength, the more I found answers, the more I found people. And I am telling you, to me, that is a crucial, the most important part of my life. And no matter what I'm going through, no matter what it is, that is what keeps me grounded. That's what keeps my vision alive. Okay, because we've talked about, I mean, was it last week or the week before about clarity, vision? And again, we're talking about that today, the
Yeah.
importance of it.
Yeah.
And so when you're hitting a place of loneliness, there are different ways. And yes, connecting to people and all of that is extremely important.
Mhm.
And reaching out
Yeah.
is important.
I think
Um,
also as women entrepreneurs, um, we're not very good at asking for help.
no, yeah,
Right?
very true. And I think we've had to, I absolutely, because I think through the years, we've been wanting, and with reason, to
Yeah.
prove ourselves
Of
so
course.
that we could be viewed as equals, okay,
Mhm.
in the business world. And because of that, and plus we want to be great partners. We want to be good role models as moms. We want to make sure that we've got it all together just to really prove our worth, our
Yeah.
abilities. So we've had to do that. Okay. And yeah, because of that, it's, I think for women, it's been that much more difficult to actually admit or reach out saying, hey, man, I can't do this. I'm not Superwoman. I
No.
can't do it all. And you're not supposed to.
No,
We're not
exactly.
We're not even supposed to. And with the right strategy, okay, with the right building blocks in place, oh my
Exactly.
gosh, when the shit hits the fan, it's so much easier to deal with
Yeah.
when you've got tools that actually make sense,
Yeah.
that actually work for you.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And unfortunately, the learning of these tools sometimes comes with time.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, 10 years, 20 years ago, I did not have all the tools that I've got now, just like you, Diana. You
Of course.
didn't have all the tools.
No, and I also want to, you brought up how you know, during that difficult time, you reached out to your guides, and I think
Yeah.
for me during my difficult time, uh, I learned about gratitude,
Oh, yeah.
and I learned that every day, even though it was, like you said, a shit show,
Oh,
there was one little itty bitty thing somewhere that I could be grateful for. And even today,
yeah.
I will be sitting here at the farm and, sitting in the solarium there, and I go, oh my God, I am
Yeah.
so grateful for this. But being grateful and during a difficult time, makes you sit and think and search.
Yeah, it does. I love
And I've
that.
often said, there was a time where I was grateful just yep, there were piles of dishes in the sink or
Yeah.
piles of laundry.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, I'm grateful that I had food to put on those dishes so
Hmm.
they could be dirty. Or I was grateful that we had enough clothes that there could be piles of laundry,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I,
and that for years kept me from, you know,
yeah.
I would
And
say I would say burnout. I would say burnout.
yes, same here,
Yeah.
literally. And actually, I think I was in burnout. I'm sorry, but I think I was, and it really led to some serious soul searching.
Oh,
It
for sure.
really, I'm telling you, it really did.
Yeah.
And I made some incredibly difficult changes that changed my life in an amazing way. But it took a lot for me to get to the point where I thought, okay, this is not working for me anymore.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I've got to find new solutions here, um, which then obviously forced me to reach out. Well, I still had a choice, uh, but it inspired me greatly, let's just say, to reach out. It's funny because I was having another conversation earlier this morning, and speaking of being grateful,
Mhm.
this businesswoman, okay, a friend of mine, was telling me, yeah, Denise, like I'm a little busy today because last minute she has to bring her father to an appointment at the hospital, and for some weird, beautiful reason, at that moment when I read her message, okay, because she's saying that, I felt so connected because I get it. I
Mm.
felt this connectedness. I get it
Yeah,
because trust me, before my father passed away, man, the appointments and all of that. And presently, my mother, who's,
yeah,
bless her soul, who's 92, and man, she's tough. But those responsibilities that come into play, personal lives, and all of that, and just hearing someone else say, "Hey, Denise, I'll do my best. I don't know if I'll
yeah,
be able to go because of that."
yeah.
Just that little connection right away takes away some of that feeling that you're the only one dealing with these things.
Exactly. And, we sit here in our, years ago, I said this, as small business owners, many of us, and maybe some of you who are watching, we sit in our little offices here, our little secret laboratories, um, and we don't talk to people on a, physically. We talk to people like this virtually, but yeah, it's getting to know that whatever you are experiencing in business, someone else has felt that before, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And
yeah,
so, so I know we've said the word masterclass a few times here, and there's a reason for that.
yeah,
Okay, there's a reason for that. So, by the way, next week's topic, I just want to say that because
yeah.
it blends in again with our 3 o'clock masterclass
It
today
does.
at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you could register for it, it's not going to be live on Facebook.
No.
Register for it because we're going to be talking about important topics, and it all bleeds into this loneliness. And next week's
Yep.
next week is number 11, eh? It's our
11.
11th podcast next week.
Yeah.
And
Next
anyway,
week,
yeah,
we're going to talk about legacy, building a legacy, building impact, not just a business.
yeah,
And, I know that you often use that word legacy,
I
uh,
do.
but yeah, I'm a little more strategic and I say, okay, what are you building? Is it something where you're going to stay, sell, or semi retire? Because some of us have a little of this gray hair and we're looking and we're going, okay, what are we going to do in the next 10 years? Right?
And I'm sorry, and I do talk about legacy
Mhm.
because what my father was a businessman.
Yeah.
Okay, very quite successful as a businessman. With that said, the legacy he left as a father could have been different,
Different. Right.
better,
Yeah.
okay, more
Yeah.
impactful in a positive way. And so that taught me at a young age that there are different legacies. And yes, the financial legacy, okay, could be such a gift because amazing. With that, equally important is the legacy you leave behind in regards to who you were, what you represented,
What you have
and
represented. Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely, and the
And the
effect you had
impact.
on people, the
Yeah.
impact. And so next week, we're talking about legacy. Absolutely. And
Perfect.
today at 3 o'clock, Diana,
Three
what are
o'clock.
we,
So register. Oh, geez, I'm clicking buttons here and I don't know what I'm clicking, but let me try again. So we have a free masterclass. Here is our there on the ticker tape down below. DianaLidstone.com/ and I'll put it in the comments for you. Denise will put it in the comments. What this does, it gets you on our VIP backstage pass. You
Yeah.
get some gifts immediately. I will be sending out multiple emails this afternoon for those people who are watching, who got on the list late, and we will send you an email about the Zoom link. So 3 o'clock,
Mhm.
we'll see you then.
Absolutely. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed our little chat today about loneliness. I hope you, if you are struggling with that, by all means, please reach out. So important
It is.
to just put the, pride or fear or whatever you want to call it aside, and reach out. If it's not to me, if it's not to Diana, by all means to go online, look up Catherine Laundrie's groups. She's an incredible woman. She's there for entrepreneurs. And so please reach out. With that said, we are coming to the end here. And again, last minute, if you're hearing this at 2 o'clock this afternoon and you're thinking, I want to hear this. I want to be in this masterclass. What if there's something in there that helps you figure things out? Send us a message last minute. No worries. We will gladly have you join us. And there you go.
All right. We'll see you later, alligator.
Have a great day, everybody. Hopefully we'll see you all at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Take care. Bye.